Listen. This car gonna Wild Bill's Fun Ambler.
Keep rolling, 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 keep rolling, 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 rolling. this shit right here. IMP, Biscuit is right here. People in the house, put their hands in the air. Cause if you don't care, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Chosen for your fix, so that little bits get mixed. So where the fuck you at, bro? Shut the fuck up and back the fuck up, or we fuck this track up. Hands on the hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands on the hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. 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 I don't wanna mess with the biscuit. Yeah, I can't mess with the biscuit. Why? Because we get it on every day and every night. And it's platinum thing right here. We're doing it all the time. So you better get some better beats and get some better rhymes. We got the game set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school soldiers passing out the hot shit, that rock shit, putting bounce in the mosh pit. Hands up, now hands down. Tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands up, now hands down. Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. 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 Hey ladies, hey fellas, and the people that don't give a fuck. All the lovers, all the haters, and all the people that call themselves players. Hot mamas, pimp daddies, and the people rolling up in caddies. Hey rockers, hip hoppers, and everybody. Now move back, hands up, now hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands up, now hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. 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 Move it, now move back. Hands up, now hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Breathe in, now breathe out. Hands up, now hands down. Back up, tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Follow players, it's that time. Players night out again, yeah.
Hustlers, what's up? It's going down.
What's up, man? You ready to break them out?
Got to.
It's everywhere.
Turn up, ain't nobody give me none, I earn it, ain't nobody give me none, I earn it, ain't nobody give me none, I earn it, ain't nobody